Good Wednesday, students. I hope things are going well for you so far. Enjoy this time with me away. Maybe you'll actually have some fun in this class. I hope you do. Let's get to talking World War II. First, in the lead up to World War II, we have to understand that totalitarian leaders were coming to power in several countries around the world. That's a big word, it starts with a T, totalitarian. Look at number 4, question 4 on your notes, totalitarian. It's a long word, just look at the first 5 letters. Total. That's what kind of control these dudes had. They had total control. They were dictators. Okay, so let's talk about them briefly, one at a time, shall we? First, you had Joseph Stalin. He took over in Russia after Vladimir Lenin. Dude was bad. He turned the country into a communist place, communist country. He had secret police spying on people. He had his critics, anybody who would have criticized him or spoken ill of him or asked questions, was sent off. They were sent off to work camps where they were killed. Also, he starved out a lot of people. We're not going to get into the details. If you want to know the details about that, information is readily available. I would encourage you to look that stuff up. I wouldn't think you were weird if you were interested in how Stalin starved millions of people, but his death count is high. Kind of puts Adolf Hitler to shame, but killed a lot more dudes than Adolf Hitler. Let's move on, shall we? Have my cheat sheet here. Benito Mussolini. Fun word, fun names here. Benito, B-E-N-I-T-O. Mussolini, sounds like a salad dressing. M-U-S-S-O-L-I-N-I. Benito Mussolini. Okay, Benito Mussolini. He came to power in Italy. He came to power in I think 1932, and he was a fascist. And really, fascism is the idea that the government has total power, again, but the nation is what's served rather than the individual. The individual is not important. The nation is the important one. Society as a whole is way more important than the individual. There's always an emphasis on militarism, so having a strong military, so oftentimes people are controlled and the military has almost total power, and there's always economic power. And with fascist governments, only one narrative, only one opinion, one perspective is tolerated, okay? So that's fascism, that's number 3. We kind of already talked about totalitarianism, but totalitarianism is, again, the idea that a dictator has total power. And maybe it's not a dictatorship, but it typically is. But it means that the government, whatever form it takes, typically dictatorship, has total power. Okay, number 5, who is the leader of the Nazi Party? I bet you know his name. Adolf Hitler, bad dude. Okay, Adolf Hitler, he comes to power in 1932 also. 1932, remember, this was also the year that President Roosevelt gets elected. Okay, so all this stuff is happening, interestingly enough, at the same time. So think about this. Hitler comes to power at the same time that President Roosevelt comes to power. They both are facing Great Depressions in their own countries. They react very different ways, right? We had the New Deal. Hitler decided to blame one group of people and try to kill them off. So same time, people faced the same challenges, reacted in very different ways, okay? Militarism. Militarism is the idea that a country spends most of its money, spends most of its focus on building up a military, a strong, powerful, mighty military, all right? So that's militarism. Okay, what is the League of Nations? So Hitler begins building up his military in violation of the Treaty of Versailles. Remember the Treaty of Versailles back at the end of World War I had said, hey, Germany, We're going to give you a bunch of fines, $33 billion in reparations. We're going to say you can't build up your military. And oh yeah, we're going to take some land from you, along with blaming you for the entire war. Hitler says, look, we need to build up our military first. So he does. Again, in violation of the League of Nations, he builds up his military. Starts, hey, Rusty. Hey, buddy. Hi. You want to say hi, Rusty? No? Okay. You want to talk about Hitler? Bad guy? Bad guy? Evil dude? Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset. Okay. You want to just hang out here? Okay. Rusty hates Hitler. Hates totalitarian governments, right? Are you a small government kind of dog? Yeah? Okay. Sorry. Meanwhile, so Hitler says we need to build up the military. He also sends troops to the Rhineland, the land that was taken and given to France as a buffer zone. Germany says, yeah, let's send troops there. Okay? It had been off limits, but he does it. He sends troops there. He also allies with his boy Mussolini in Italy. He allies with Mussolini because, bad dudes like to stick together because then they don't seem as bad. If you surround yourself with bad dudes, then you're like, hey, I'm the best of my bad dude friends. So that's what they do. They hang out together. It's very interesting to me, side note, it's very interesting to me that Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin all had similar effects on their country. Their people were crushed by these people, by these leaders. But whereas Hitler got to power through, the Nazi Party, and Stalin got to power through the Communist Party, Mussolini got to power through fascism. All three of these guys take different routes to totalitarianism, to total power, but they all get to the same place with different routes. So it's very interesting. If you talk to government experts, they'll say, hey, these are wildly different ideas. And I agree, they're different ideas. They all lead to about the same place. They all have the same effect on their people. Not good. No bueno, as the Spanish say. Okay. So he allies with Italy, builds up the military, and takes back the Rhineland. Okay, let's stop there. I'll be right back at you.